My book is titled Homegoing. It is a novel that traces the family lineage of two half-sisters. The first half-sister, Afia, is the wife of the British governor of the Cape Coast Castle, which is a slave castle in Ghana. And the second half-sister, Essie, is kept in the castle as a slave before being sent to America. And each chapter deals with a different descendant and toggles back and forth between the American side of the family and the Ghanaian side of the family. So the character Marjorie feels as though she doesn't belong either in Ghana or in Alabama, which is similar to how I felt growing up. I was born in Ghana in 1989 in a town called Mampong, which is in the Ashanti region. I grew up all over. I lived first in Ohio, and then we moved to Illinois, and then Tennessee, and then Alabama. When I left my house and went out into the rest of America, I wasn't American enough for America, but I also wasn't quite Ghanaian enough for Ghana whenever I was there. And so I think a lot of my childhood was spent trying to figure out where I fit in. And this book stemmed from trying to figure that out. I think I started to realize later on in life that there is actually a lot that connects us, and I wanted to explore what that was, and the very beginning of that is our time in Africa. I first got the idea for this book in 2009 when I was traveling to Ghana. I visited the Cape Coast Castle, which is a slave castle. Various ethnic groups would capture people during wars, or sometimes they would just be sold to them, and then they would take them down to the coast and sell them to the British. Particularly for those of us who are from West African countries that were involved in the slave trade, who now live in America and are kind of in constant contact with what the result of that trade was. I think you can make that link. I could have been American. One thing that I had always wanted for this book was that by the time you got to the end of it, you couldn't say that you didn't understand, why Black people in America are the way they are, or why they might feel the things that they feel. You get to see exactly what steps have led to the current state of racial tension in America, and just to see that every moment has this footprint. So nothing you do in history just goes away or disappears. It has an effect on every other generation that comes after yours.